Just slide them all back. Are you joking? No, for real. Because that way they're looking down this way instead of off to the side. Yeah, just tuck them in the front.
Absolutely. Come on, boys. Hey, girls.
He's push
Yeah,
those,
just
push those
push that
cables
stuff.
back.
Just tuck that stuff in more.
Yeah, we'll mess anything up.
We're getting a front row.
It's a proper fucking press conference one.
Yeah.
Rather than a scrum.
Alright, so that doesn't work. Let's go back.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
Scott Coker here.
Thank you. God, it was a great night of fights. I really enjoyed just sitting there watching them, and to have a finals that we can put on the calendar now for January 26th at the LA Forum. It's a good feeling because I felt like it took a little bit to get here, and now we have the finalists. And I told Bader and I told Fedor, I said, well, I'm sorry you have to train through Christmas, but it'll be worth it at the end. So we'll finally have a heavyweight champion, and we'll crown them on the 26th. Let's open up for questions.
Is Fedor in the finals the ideal scenario for you walking into January?
You know, I feel like as a promoter, you know, like whoever wins the matchup wins, and that's it. I mean, if he would have lost, Chael is a great promoter himself, and, you know, that would have been a great fight with him and Bader. Now, both of them, I think, would have been interesting matchups, but, you know, anytime Fedor steps into the cage, it's a special, historic moment, and I think we'll have another piece of history on the 26th of January. I'll tell you, I think they both look good. You know, I think Chael can take a punch. He took some shots, and I tell you, I have not seen those two guys scrap like that in a while, and they're going at it. You know, in fact, Herschel said to me, he goes, "Is Fedor mad at Chael? Like, did something happen to him?" I said, "Well, you know, they're trying to fight for the same prize to get to the finals." But in all seriousness, it's you know, it's Chael. Show me why, you know, he is who he is, and Fedor, you know, he just stepped up, and I think that it was a great win for him.
Any more questions?
Scott, this week Chael went on a show, got a debate whether Fedor's in his prime. Do you think Fedor made a statement that he's still in his prime?
You know what? I'll tell you, I love the countdown shows that our guys have been doing. And, you know, when I watch those countdown shows myself as a fan, and when I saw him hitting the mitts, I'm like, man, this guy still has that twitch speed. He's so fast. He's so explosive. He hits hard. And that's something that's not going to go away. The speed might go away, but the power doesn't go away. But the speed didn't. He still has that speed, you know. So to me, it's pretty impressive, man. And I think the reason why is that he just has not stopped training. He's always in shape, and he's always trained, and always, you know, like he's never stopped training for long periods of time. So, you know, it's been a great journey for him. You guys know how, you know, the history of Fedor has been. It's been a great ride, and to me, he's the greatest of all time. And he's got a worthy adversary on the 26th. Ryan Bader showed me that he could control a big man, and do what he needs to do to win. And, you know, he's going to try to do that to Fedor, and you know, does Fedor have some tricks up his sleeve? And we'll see. It's going to be an interesting fight.
Scott, when you guys were drawing up these brackets, is this a possibility, you think, when you were looking at it? Is that one of the fights that you considered that could be the final?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that a lot of people felt that Ryan Bader was a favorite to get in on his side, and Fedor as well. But, you know, if you know, Frank Mir would have won, you know, I wouldn't have been surprised either. These are big guys throwing big punches, and, you know, all it takes is one clip and then it's over. So, you know, in the heavyweight division, you never know.
These back-to-back events seem to be working out well for Bellator. Do you plan on deciding a Hawaii event and working on more in the future?
Well, I don't know if my staff would agree with you, agree with me, but it's been really taxing on the staff, and I'd like to thank them because they did a great job of executing this event and the one last night. I think that you know, our original reason of doing the event so close was we didn't want to give one fighter an advantage over the other, and next week was busy in both buildings, so we had to do it all this weekend. But it's a taxing, you know, proposition. But at the end of the day, our guys pulled it off, and you know, if we have to do it again, we will. But that's the reason why we did it. We didn't want a fighter to say, "Oh, he had two more weeks of rest than I did." And, you know, he had 2 more weeks of, you know, knowing who he's fighting, and so, you know, to me that was the reason why we did it back to back.
Question right here. Check Congo's now 11-2 in the promotion. Is he the likely number 1 contender for the winner of the Grand Prix?
I think we have a couple options there, but you know, Czech has really impressed me his last couple outings, and that's the Czech that I remember from before, and that's the Czech that we've been waiting to see. And for him, I'm really. I told him when I was leaving, when I was coming in here, I said, you know, Czech, I'm really proud of you because you really showed me that that you really want it and you're stepping up, and this is the Czech that we've been expecting. And so, to me, look, we signed Minakov back, right? We have some great heavyweights here already, and Czech's another guy, and then we're gonna just have some great matchups in the future in 2019 in the heavyweight division.
Is there a set date and venue yet for the tournament?
Yes, it's January 26th in Los Angeles at the Forum. Yeah.
Scott, any update on the welterweight Grand Prix? Certain dates. We got the matchups, but not all the dates.
So we just announced the fight December 15th in Honolulu. Well, we have the Alima McFarland fight against Valerie. Machida will be fighting our former champion, Carvalho, at that fight. And Ed Ruth will be fighting Neiman Gracie at that fight. So that will be our second round of the tournament. That fight will be on DAZN. On Saturday night, we announced at a press conference in New York City this past Thursday that on Friday night it'll be on Paramount Live. It'll be Michael Chandler fighting Brett Primus. Frank Mir will fight Javier Ayala. And we'll have 3 more fights added to that. There'll be 2 big tentpole events. And that won't be free for the troops. So we're doing a show called Bellator Salutes the Troops. And it's going to be a great week of festivities in Honolulu. We're going to take all of our top athletes that are not fighting, and we're going to take them to the base and give value back to the men and women that protect this country.
Scott Coker, what would it mean, in your view, if on January the 26th at the Forum, Fedor Emelianenko managed to win the heavyweight Grand Prix at the age of 42? Where would that put him in the pantheon of the greatest mixed martial artists?
I already feel like he's the GOAT. He has nothing to prove. To me, he has nothing to prove. He's doing this because he wants to compete, and he's had some tough opposition. And you know what? If he won the tournament, I'd be happy for him. And I think that this is something he really, really wants. Listen, everybody knows that Fedor's been fighting for a while. He was the king of Pride, and then he fought for me in Strikeforce, and now he's here in Bellator. But he's already proved everything. He's the GOAT, and whatever he does now will just add to the legacy of Fedor.
Did you think tonight, though, that like you said, the way that he tossed Chael off him twice when he was on the bottom, this hand speed, things like that, that were very prominent tonight?
Yeah, he looked like a fresh fighter that wanted it badly. That's what I saw out there. I saw somebody that really wanted to win. And the fight had some great transitions back and forth, some great sweeps and hip throws and it's takedowns. It was just a great fight, and it was action packed. I mean, I really enjoyed watching it.
Scott, there was some reaction online that this fight was fixed. Can you react to that at all?
I mean, come on, that doesn't even deserve a response. I mean, to the people that are saying it. And listen, Chael got clipped. He told me, he said, man, he hit me, and he hit me really good, and he was done. So that's it. But with Chael, you the thing with Tito, he let him go or something. Come on, why would you do that? You're a professional athlete. You're a fighter. He wants to continue. He wants to go to the next round of the tournament. So that's just all rubbish.
Why do people move to that so quickly? The fixed line. Why is that, you think?
It's like, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's they see Chael. He's got this character, and then I think they just feel like with Chael, it's just like this character. So maybe that's what they're thinking. But if you had Fedor punching you and kicking you and kneeing you like he was doing today, that was real. That was not fake.
Scott, what would you like to see Chael do next? Do you want to see him stay at heavyweight? Do you think he should go back to 205? I know you'll say it's probably ultimately up to him, but what would you like to see?
Exactly what you said is going to be up to him. I mean, really, now that the heavyweight tournament, for him is over, he'll have to decide. If he wants to fight at 205, we got some great fights for him at 205, but he's going to have to make that decision. So we'll talk to him. I think he might like that. I think he might like to fight at 205.
He told me earlier this week he thinks he's the #1 contender at 205. So he's like, win or lose, I think I'm going to fight Ryan Bader, whether it's this title?
That's a fight I would like to see, right? Maybe that's the fight we can put together in the future. But let's get through the heavyweight tournament, and then we'll talk to Chael. But to me, it makes a lot of sense for him to go to 205 and fight our top guys.
And we saw 50 Cent here again tonight. He was posting over the past couple of days. Who else have you been bringing me out to come fight in Bellator for $2 million? What did you make of all that?
Well, you know what? He called me yesterday and he said, hey, what's going on with this? And I said, well, the commission's involved, and there's a lot of steps to that whole situation. But I'd like to just I told him, I said, hey, let's just stay clear of it, because it really has nothing to do with Bellator. That has to do with the commission and the fighter and the league. So that's their business.
Did that get you any hot water though? Because he's saying making an offer to come fight for us in Bellator, and I know.
Well, I think what he means by that is like him as like a manager, or like he's. But I mean, 50 Cent has, when he's talking to an athlete, that has nothing to do with Bellator. I can't tell 50 Cent what to say or not say. Believe me. Yep.
Scott, can you explain? You're on DAZN now. How has been the public reaction to that, and also what kind of changes should we expect? Perhaps the European cards, one complaint is that they've been delayed in America. Any chance you won't have delays anymore?
Yeah, there's a. You know what? It's something that we're really, really close to making it perfect. We thought we had it together on the Channel 5 show in San Jose. DAZN's been a great partner. They have been supportive, and they have Japan. And like tonight, the fight was aired in Japan because it was on DAZN. I was watching it on DAZN live on my little phone as the fight was going on. It was pretty cool. But when I think about the partnership, it's exciting because the international territories that they want to go to, we would like to go as well. The thing with Channel 5 in the UK, we got cut off, and that was unfortunate. And we didn't have it dialed in for this fight because we have to run commercials, and this could have run over, and then we could have another, Pepe the Pig situation, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So it is on Channel 5 now. It's a 12-hour delay from yesterday and today. But I think, in the next month or so, before December, we will have, this all worked out and dialed. I promised Gareth that we would have it fixed. So, Gareth. Yes, exactly.
Scott.
How about the 5-round main event? I keep asking you, and you keep saying we're going to give us an
Oh, I see. You mean as far as like
last night, for
right.
example.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance you're going to change that to the 5 rounds?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, we have talked about, but we have not committed to it. We are having the 5-round main event for the welterweight tournament because Roy's in the tournament and he is our champion. So the title will continue with the champion, whoever the champion is. So it'll be a title fight every time. But, as far as the main event being 5 rounds, just to have a main event be 5 rounds, we're still going to hold it to our championship belts.
How many Russians guy we will see in the next
You know what? That's a good question. I'm not sure. But, listen, we have a lot of great Russian fighters here in Bellator. Kreshkov is amazing. We have 4 or 5 fighters we just signed from Fedor's group. We have Fedor, Emelianenko. We have Tokov, the fighter you saw today. So, we're going to continue our commitment to the Russian athletes.
Scott, was tonight the last fight on Benson Henderson's contract?
I'm not sure, but I thought he looked good. He was entertaining, and I could probably have Rich or Mike get back to you on that one.
What are your thoughts on the other promotions that DAZN is working with Combat de Americas and KSW? Any thoughts of possibly a co-promotion?
You know what? I mean, KSW, we have a good relationship with Martin. We've talked about it. It's just the timing doesn't work because of the fight here would be 2 a.m. over there, just the same thing like the broadcast for Channel 5. So it's tough, but you know what? I think that it's a possibility, but it's not something that's imminent in the future.
One last question right there.
What do you think about another brother, Emelianenko in Bellator?
Alexander, you know what? I think he had some problems getting licensed here in the States, and I don't think that will go away. So I think that, he has some issues to take care of. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Up next, Chef Congo. All right. Yes.
Yeah, so, well,
Yeah?
we just did want to remind everybody
Yeah, we remember.
that the sweater is up for auction. on the Bellator eBay page. Might be worth a little bit more money tonight.
The actual sweater.
Yeah, here we go.
But for what? How am I going
Oh, it's
to
for
pay?
charity. So it is Make-A-Wish and a children's charity in Russia that Fedor picked.
It's at 10,800
okay.
right now.
There we go. It started the night at 6,800.
It's Fedor's idea? Yeah?
Yes, this was Fedor's idea. Yep.
Okay.
So and this is the exact sweater.
Yeah, we know.
Thank you
We
guys.
know.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you. All right. Check Congo. All right. Questions?
Congratulations on the win, Chuck. Could you just talk us through the finish there at the end?
It was just a finish. You know, I used to prepare very well. You know, with my team. You know, and in Trinity Beach. So I'm really happy and with the performance because I got the time to prepare very well. I used to change, you know, some modality about the training. You know, and that's the thing. You know, will bring me back on life. You know, being more active. You know, moving more, be efficient. You know, so.
You've been pretty dominant throughout your whole career, but from 2014 to 2018 was a stretch where you didn't have a finish. Now you have back-to-back knockouts in devastating fashion. Have you made any changes in your camp or your mentality in these fights, or are you just going out there doing the same thing you've always been doing, and it's just you know, you're able to get your opponent out of there quicker?
I think probably somewhere I used to be really lazy, so I used to change, you know, everything with Tiki, Paul Herrera. I have so many names: MPF training, Internet Beach, Dog Pound, so and many more, and also thanks to the therapy win back. And that's the thing, you know, will keep me active, you know, keep me efficient, give me and help me to recover, you know, pretty faster than usual. So that's great.
What does being lazy look like?
Hey, Jack, obviously you didn't take a lot of damage in this fight today.
I'm sorry, get a question. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you said you were being lazy. What does that look like? Because you always look like you're in ridiculous shape.
No, I used to be really lazy, so I used to sleep on my quality. So and also by the time I used to fight at the last minute, so I didn't get the time to get prepared pretty well. So for sure I used to come, you know, with the little shape I used to get and fight and face the guys. So at the end I used to be just try to be efficient to bring the victory. So.
What do you think of the main event tonight between Fedor and Chael?
So you know that's a good opportunity to me for me to come back and get my belt. So no matter what, who's gonna be the winner, you know. Yeah, Bellator used to hold my belt so now 4 years, and I think, you know, at some point, you know, that's something, you know, I should deserve to get. You know, I didn't have the opportunity to fight for as well for the interim, so you know.
Are you willing to fight again, or do you want to wait and see what happens in January between those two?
Yeah, no, we will see. So I'm still on the track, so yeah.
Jack, 43 years old. How do you continue success at this age now?
Honestly, this is the brand here, you can see, you know, and that therapy works on everybody, you know, not especially on me, especially, you know, I have the really good recovery and activity on athletes. So that's one of the therapy that people using in Europe. So now the therapy came in United States, and from that, you know, I'm one of the guys, you know, who use a lot of this to get performance.
From a mental standpoint, you know, how do you get up and keep doing this every day as you get older and get to your 40s, which is kind of unheard of for most professional athletes?
So the good thing is I used to be so about my shape, you know, I used to be away from drugs, you know, and all the kind of shit like this. So first of all, that the good thing, you know, will keep me away and be performant, you know, will save my joints and my ability to perform with my healthy. And after that, it's just about the way to train with my new partners. You know, so it's not like new partners, but we used to work that way in the past, but with the better accuracy, listening to the body, using the therapy, the win-back therapy. And from that, since that, you know, I can complain. And also about my state of mind. You know, life is a fight. So I never wait to be in the cage to prove I'm gonna fight against somebody. I'm fighting every day, you know, helping people, working and making sure, you know, I can feed my family, taking care of my family, friends, you know, having projects, you know, it's a fight. So it's depend, you know, what is the definition you get for that, but fighting is a multitask.
Jack, is there any way that when you weren't announced as a member of the 8 people in the heavyweight tournament, that it lit a fire under you and got your mentality that I'm going to get my revenge here by getting the belt back?
Yes, it is. You know, that's something, you know, since then, you know, I never get the chance to say anything. Even I used to be quiet because I was pretty angry, you know, and at the end, what to say?
Is this you angry right now?
I should say no, because you know what the thing is with the experience, you know, and what I should say more than that, you know. You want to pass me, okay, do it, you know.
I think everyone agrees that you probably deserve a shot.
No, of course, but and I really appreciate, you know, the fact, you know, you mentioned that, but what I should say more than that, you know, you knows what it is, you know, and even if I didn't fight for the belt, you know, it would be a big shame, and it's not a will be, it's a big shame. So it's been now 3 years, 7 wins in a row, so a win is a win. So that's what I used to learn from you guys. So even if I'm not satisfied with the decision, you know, with the result of the fight, but a win is a win.
Check. Who do you think wins, Fedor or Bader?
Whatever, I don't care. You know, the thing is, even for the fight, I didn't check or see the fight just to have some idea. The thing is, I just want to get my belt. You know, if I have to say something like people used to say, "Oh, I want to get my fucking belt or my damn belt or whatever," so and I used to use those bad words, but you know, I think, you know, today that's what it is. You know.
Check. Asked Scott about if you would be a number contender with your record. He also threw out Minakov as an option. Would you like to fight Minakov again since it will be a rematch at the finale?
It could be a good opportunity to do it also and get the revenge, you know. And also the fight was pretty close, and at some point, you know, people used to call me dirty fighters, but that guy's kicked me many times in the balls, and I was like, shit, you know. And fortunately, I have a really good cup. But after that, he knees me, you know, when the hit wasn't allowed. So anyone. So the thing is, at some point, you know, I'm still want to be the black sheep, you know, but somewhere enough is enough.
One more question.
Did anything from Johnson's book surprise you in this fight, or was everything expected?
Nothing. So honestly, I didn't expect anything. You know, I just expect some big brawl, you know, during the bout. So I let my partners, Tiki, Paul, you know, study the guys and working that way. I didn't see what he can do or expect something from him. The thing was just fighting. My role was to get back in shape, you know, moving like I used to do in the past, and be efficient. Even if I'm getting old, for sure, you know, I don't have the same reflex or the same attitude, but I'm pretty close. So a few more weeks and I will be ready.
Okay, thank you so much, Jan.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Jack.
Bring up Fedor. What'd you say?
Chael.
I will find out. Fedor and Nippon Benson.
Right.
This looks better. It's too far. No, it isn't. It's too far. Okay, questions?
Спасибо большое.
Последние бои, получается, насколько все вот с огромным количеством смен позиций и очень динамичными. Вам так веселее, интереснее или просто без разведки?
Fedor, congratulations. May I ask the question, why your last fights are kind of very entertaining, very fast change of positions, you know, very dynamic? Is it more interesting for you to fight that way?
Нет, так, спасибо за вопрос, конечно. Так получается. Я не могу сказать, чтобы веселее, не веселее, но я, слава богу, чувствовал и по скорости контролировал. То есть видел движение Chael, поэтому старался немножко опережать его. старался видеть его.
Well, I cannot say if it is more interesting or less interesting than how it happens. And I could feel actually Chael. I could see all his movements and try to react in time. Thank you for the question.
Да, то, что постоянно менялись позиции, ну, так получалось.
As for permanent changing of positions, that's how it happened, how the fight went.
Fedor, Scott Coker just said you're the best fighter ever. Many people agree with that.
Кокер сказал,
What
что
do you say is the best fighter ever?
Скотт Кокер сказал, что ты лучший боец вообще, и очень много людей с ним согласны. А что вы думаете, кто лучший боец, с вашей точки зрения?
Знаете, у меня сейчас голова не работает.
My head doesn't work really very well right now.
Ну, мне очень нравился Кен Веласкес. Но сейчас он не бьется, я так понимаю.
Well, I liked really very much Ken Velasquez, but he's not fighting nowadays, I guess.
When Chael dove off of your back, was that surprising at all to you? Because he had your back and tried to roll you over like Leo Vieira, like he said, but it didn't work, obviously.
Когда Чел вот старался напрыгнуть и перевернуть вас на спину, вообще это вас как бы удивило, не удивило?
Нет, абсолютно не удивило. Мы работали я работаю во всех положениях, поэтому должен чувствовать себя хорошо во всех положениях.
No, I was not surprised actually, and I work in all different positions. So that's why I have to feel really good in all the positions.
А Chael очень хороший борец, поэтому, конечно, мы были готовы к этому.
Chael is a very good fighter, and we were prepared for that.
Wrestler. Не файтер, а wrestler. Борец.
Борец.
Wrestler.
Fedor, congratulations again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're not a man who shows a lot of emotion, but did we see a little bit afterwards tonight? A little bit of happiness, more smiles from you after the event, and if so, why?
Вы не тот человек, который очень демонстрирует свои эмоции. Но повезло ли нам сегодня? Мы чуть-чуть больше видели эмоций, вашу улыбку. Вот сделали это вас более счастливым на этот момент?
Знаете, я благодарен Богу, что сегодня Он даровал нам победу. Поэтому, конечно, я счастлив.
I'm very grateful to God that He gifted me this very victory. That's why certainly I'm happy.
Я знаю, сколько людей молилось, переживало за меня.
I know how many people prayed for me and cheered for me.
Я очень вам всем благодарен. Слава Богу.
And I'm very grateful to everybody. Thanks God.
Fedor, what's your initial thoughts on the fight against Ryan Bader?
Sorry?
What's his initial thoughts on the fight against Ryan Bader? Did he see him fight last night, and what does he think is going to happen on January 26th?
Федор, видели ли вы бой Райана и что, да, Бейдера, и что вы ожидаете как бы от этого боя? Будет ли он такой же, как вот был?
Нет, я не видел бой пока, но в ближайшее время его посмотрю.
I haven't seen the fight yet, but I definitely will watch it at nearest time.
Прошу прощения за то, что немножко небольшой спойлер будет. Райан Бейдер переводил более тяжелого, чем он соперника, с большой легкостью, и Мэтт Мидвелл тяжелее, чем вы уже. До боя 3 месяца, как вы будете строить подготовку с учетом того, что будет соперник, который очевидно будет настроен на то, что переводить вас?
So there are only 3 months before the fight, and Ryan Bader actually tried to put the opponent on the canvas. And if taking that into consideration, how you are going to be preparing for this very fight?
Вы знаете, мы учитываем особенности всех оппонентов, с которыми нам приходится встречаться.
You know, we take into consideration the specialities and certain features of all the opponents we meet.
Как и к этому бою мы готовились, учитывая сильные стороны Chael.
We were preparing for this very fight, taking into consideration very strong sides of Chael.
Также мы с моей командой сделаем выводы при подготовке к Райану.
The same will happen actually during the preparation for the fight with Bader. So me and my team will make the necessary conclusions.
Конечно, будет большое внимание уделяться переводам в партер и работе лежа.
Certainly there will be a lot of attention given to the work on the ground, on the canvas. Are you going to have same sparring partners, or there will be somebody different?
Я только с боя вышел. Можно я?
I just came out of the fight. May I have some time, please?
Мы в следующий раз вас увидим, мне кажется, как раз через 3 месяца.
Если вы не будете надоедать, то мы увидимся быстрее.
So, because next time we'll see maybe you only in 3 months. If you are not going to be that notorious, maybe we'll see each other a little bit earlier.
Fedor, last time you took a break from the sport, you were kind of on a low point. Now you're on a high point. Any chance you beat Fedor, you win the title, and you say, hey, perfect way to end my career and retire?
Вы уходили из спорта, будучи как бы уже таким на спаде карьеры. Сейчас вы вышли, вы находитесь на пике карьеры. Какой шанс, что после боя с Бейдером вы вдруг решите, что вы будете уже уходить из спорта?
Ну, вы знаете, все, конечно, зависит от моего самочувствия.
You know, everything depends on how I'm feeling, you know, how my health is.
Я думаю, на этот вопрос я смогу ответить только после боя.
And that's why I think I will be able to answer this very question after the fight.
Федор, скажите, пожалуйста, иногда бывает, что бои ума отменяются. Если вдруг Райан Бейдер не сможет выйти на бой в качестве замены Сергея Харитонова и Виталия Минакова, вы не будете рассматривать других обстоятельств?
If Ryan Bader, just in case he won't be able to make it for the fight, Sergey Minakov and Haritonov, do you review them as possible opponents, the substitute for Bader?
Вы знаете, мы, корреспонденты очень часто задают вопрос, а если бы, да вдруг, да как бы, понимаете?
It's very often journalists ask questions. What if? What if?
Давайте, если вдруг такая ситуация случится, тогда и поговорим.
Let us talk about that in case such a situation happens.
Но я просил Скотта Кокера не ставить меня с россиянами.
But actually, I did request from Scott Coker not to put Russian opponents for me.
Да, слава богу, за всю карьеру я никогда не бился с русскими бойцами.
Thanks God, during my career, I didn't have fights with Russian fighters.
Господь отводил. Вот, и не хотелось бы, скажем так, ну не то чтобы заканчивать, но под конец своей карьеры биться с россиянами.
And by the end of my career, I wouldn't like, you know, just to fight Russian fighter. Oh, Fedor, what do you have any schedule? What do you have scheduled after the fight? You know, do you come back home, or do you go to travel somewhere? Do you participate in some MMA event somewhere or in Russia?
Да, спасибо вам большое за вопрос. Меня ждет семья.
Thank you very much for the question. Yeah, my family is waiting for me.
Мои девочки.
My girls.
И, конечно, союз ММА. Сейчас постараюсь максимум внимания уделить семье и союзу.
And certainly Russian MMA Union. And right now, when I come back home, I will try to give the maximum of attention to my family and MMA Union.
Fedor, why is it your preference not to fight Russian fighters at this stage in your career?
Почему вы предпочитаете все-таки не биться с русскими бойцами, как ни в середине карьеры, ни в конце?
Ну, знаете, всю жизнь меня Господь отводил.
You know, God managed it that way that during my career, I didn't have to fight Russian fighters.
Многим из них я помогал лично.
And I did help a lot of Russian fighters, a lot personally.
И, вы знаете, мне не так важно, как они ко мне относятся.
And you know, for me, it's not that important how they look at me, how they treat me.
Мне важно мое отношение.
For me, it's very important my attitude towards them.
Я бы не хотел в конце карьеры все-таки биться с нашими соотечественниками.
That's why at the very end of my career, I would prefer not to.
К тому же так острый вопрос не стоит.
Plus, it's not like really a very sharp question or problem.
Fedor, you've accomplished a lot in your career, and where do you think being a Bellator champion would rank in your career accomplishments?
Вы очень много достигли, очень много преуспели. Куда вы думаете, на какое место чемпионство по Беллатору вы можете поставить? Насколько это, как это?
Ну, я не чемпион Беллатора.
Well, first of all, I'm not the champion of Bellator.
If ну, знаете, сначала надо заслужить, завоевать.
Well, first of all, you have to fight for this
А потом,
title.
после следующего боя мы с вами соберемся.
And you have to earn it. And after the next fight, we'll get together and
Если,
discuss that.
если мы победим.
If we win.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. That's the last question.
Большое,
A quick pose.
Yep. Большое спасибо.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chael Sonnen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, questions.
Chael,
What's up, dudes? Standing here. No, but thank you for that. That's very. The scarf, it turns out.
He was a big, strong, dangerous man, wasn't
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Fast as well. I don't know why he hit me so hard. I don't know what old Chael ever did to that guy, but he sure felt like laying him into me.
You said you didn't know what you were going into against a very natural heavyweight. You know, he's not the biggest looking man in the world, but people say he's freakish when they roll with him. Or did you find that tonight that he is, that you were really in there with a genuine heavyweight?
Yeah, explosive. I would call him explosive. Yeah, like with his punches, there wasn't a ton of setups. They just came, and they came hard. And even on the ground, I had some good positions on him, and he would just explode. It wasn't necessarily technique-based, but it was impressive. He's an impressive athlete.
And has anyone ever done that to you on the ground? Like maybe about Randy or people like that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been ground and pounded like that. I thought there was opportunity there. I was covering up, and I thought that he was slowing down. Whether that's accurate, this is what I thought. I thought he was slowing down a little bit. And the referee warned me. He said, if you don't move, I'm going to stop this. But I didn't think he would because they were going into my hands. I thought I was blocking him. I thought I was having a rope-a-dope moment. Thought I was luring him in. That was a bad strategy, it turns out. That was a bad plan.
You seem to like taking a lot of risks, riverboat gambling style, the spinning elbow against Anderson, and then now the dive roll, trying to roll him over into an RNC. Is that some stuff you regret, trying to take those gambles that have not paid off for you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, when they don't work, yeah, I think I regret them a little bit. The dive roll, I was going to lose that position anyway. So maybe that's a little bit less than the other example you gave. I was going to lose that position. I was falling over the top. So I tried to tuck his chin real fast and go. I used to do that move all the time in college. And I always got it. But I missed it tonight. Rolled right over.
Chael, I just saw on Twitter that Fedor gave you his entire tracksuit that he wore to the cage. What did he say to you, and what was that exchange like?
Yeah, so that was a very cool moment for me. In wrestling, that was tradition. We would change. We would trade gear after the match, and it was always a big deal when the Americans wrestled the Russians, and it was rare, and it was an exciting moment. So anyway, yeah, he gave me his outfit. I thought that was very nice. I had nothing to offer him back. I guess I owe him an outfit, but it was very sweet. Yes, he can have that. Yes, for sure. So can you. Anybody can have that.
You took it from Wardrobe. You liked it.
I know I stole it on principle, so they didn't do that to somebody else. Yes, I was helping the next guy.
Chael, this week you said you like being the bad guy. You're the snake with blue eyes.
Candy-coated poison.
You like to talk trash, but with Fedor, you seem to tone it down a little bit and very complimentary. Why the big change?
Well, I don't talk trash. I talk truth. I don't manufacture conflict. If it's not real, I won't say it. If it comes out of my mouth, I mean it. And there's a lot of guys in the sport I do not like. And I think that's a unique thing about this sport. I think it's relatable to other people. I think everybody probably works with somebody in the office or the job site that if they could get away with it, they'd fight. I happen to be in a business where I can. But Fedor seemed like a gentleman. I didn't have any ill will towards him. think he's a good competitor with a good career. I wanted to beat him really bad. I wanted to have that one, and that was that. It was from a competitive nature.
You got in there with who you called the greatest heavyweight of all time tonight. Coming out of that, does that make you feel like you want to stay in this weight class or maybe return to 205 going forward?
Yeah, I think we'll see what happens. I mean, if they want to do a loser's ball and play this thing all the way out till third, like the Olympics, then maybe we do that. But I don't know. That's up to Scott Coker. If you ask me what weight class I'd rather be in, I think the 205 is more appropriate. But there's guys that need to fight there too. I don't know. I just look ahead to this. I love the tournament. I'm so excited about it. I'm glad the welterweights are getting a chance. I hope other guys get a chance. It's from a competitive standpoint. It was really great to be part of it. But we'll see. Ryan Bader and Fedor. That's a really interesting match. It's an interesting match. I think that Bader's going to be able. I might have shown him some blueprints just in the moments of success I had in there tonight, to at least let him know where he should try to get this fight. So let's see how that plays out. But for now, it's Fedor's night, not mine.
Yeah. Well, you said earlier this week that you think you're the #1 contender at light heavyweight, and I asked Scott about that, and he didn't disagree at all. So do you feel like there's a title shot waiting for you there when Bader and Fedor are done?
I think there could be some opportunity. I don't feel that it's appropriate to make a call out tonight because it's not my night. But yeah, I am ranked #1 at light heavyweight, and I did think I was going to see Bader in the finals of this tournament. But let's see how it goes. I don't think that would be appropriate for me to step in front of something tonight.
You have fought Anderson Silva, John Jones, Emelianenko, some of the greats ever. What does it mean to you to say that you fought some of these legends, and is there something that separates them that does make you special compared to other fighters?
The first part of the question, I never appreciated that. And maybe I should appreciate it, but I never did. I came from a wrestling background. You took on everybody. Anybody that showed up on a weekend, you took them on. 45 minutes apart. 4 and 5 and 6 guys in one day. So I guess that is unique, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate having the opportunities to try different weight classes. And they always want to talk about who the pound-for-pound great is, but there's nobody with the balls to go into different weight classes. It's not even a question who the pound-for-pound best is. There's only one guy willing to do it. A sport full of chickens. So I appreciate that. I also fought George St. Pierre in a basement in L.A. one time, so you should add that to the list.
Who's the best of those?
George. George.
Chael, you've got a very prominent broadcasting career, across lots of platforms. You haven't won tonight. But is there any thought about you are going to continue fighting or not? Does it enter your head at all?
No, not really. I mean, I have some other goals I'd like to achieve. I really looked up to what Randy was able to do and be able to extend his career. I'd like to extend mine. But it won't be my choice. It's never been my choice. Eventually, Coach Clayton will come up and say, we're done. Then we're done.
All right, and we are done. Thank you, sir.
Cool. But gentlemen, I must remind you, I was just in the final 4 of the baddest dudes in the world. This wasn't exactly like old Chael got cleaned up in a parking lot on a Saturday. Okay, we were down to the final 4 in a weight class I've never been in. I mean,
Throwing it out there.
First Fedor hits me really hard, and then you tease me a little bit here. And nobody's brought me a Coca-Cola big enough to swim in. I mean, things really aren't going my way here in New York, Gareth.
That's a good thing, though. Look at Elvis is over there, and there you are.
I'm going to get a picture of that from my mom. Yeah. That's her childhood crush. Oh, you're done with me. Here's your hat. What's your hurry? All right, I've had it with you all anyway. Goodbye.
Can we take a picture of Barbara? Yeah, let's do that. For Ryan Bader?
Ryan, so what did you think?
Fedor looked impressive. They went out there and got at it right away. Chael got in his face, started putting that pressure on him. Fedor was throwing back hard, and he's throwing those 3, 4, 5 punch combos. And as the fight went on, I wish I got to see a second round. I thought it would be start to turn a little bit in Chael's favor if the second round, if he made it there and started coming out and being a little more patient. But overall, Fedor looked impressive. I'm excited. I'm ready. Got me going.
This is the fight you said you wanted last night. When you were in there facing off with him, what was that experience like?
Yeah, it's kind of surreal, but not. I've been in there with guys like that. Guys that I kind of idolize coming up. And then to stand across the cage from them. So no different with Fedor. It's one of those things when you get that opponent, you're fighting a guy. It's just a man, a name, and somebody standing in your way.
He's very icy. He's very stoic.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get with Fedor, and You don't know any of his emotions. And for me, watching this fight, I didn't know, he was the unknown. What's he like on the ground? How's his cardio? We didn't get to see much in that first fight, and so we saw a little bit. We saw one round in this fight. That's why I said I'd like to see it go to the second round. He looked very impressive. There's definitely things that I saw that I could exploit and use and whatnot. But overall, a very, very good performance by Fedor.
You have a blue right there.
Yeah, that's just from Benson Henderson. Kind of rubbed up on me. Nothing cool.
Ryan, Chael said that he thinks he put out a few blueprints for you to use in the fight against Fedor. Did you see anything that
Well, yeah, Chael took him down with a kind of a single leg, like a low single, so that balance there. It's crazy because Fedor showed incredible balance in certain positions, but then got taken down by kind of a low single, and had his feet together. I shoot my shots a little different than Chael's. I'm trying to either blow you off your feet or I don't get it and try to stay in a good position. I never like to be anywhere with my knees on the mat shooting at all. And so definitely, I saw some things there. I saw, they were both kind of getting a little tired there because it was a frantic pace. I thought Chael would have his energy would have come back to him because it was just more of like a kind of all right, here we go. I tried this, it wasn't working. Kind of panicking a little bit, but then I saw it kind of come back a little bit. So Fedor definitely was breathing hard too and was kind of resting in positions. But so yeah, I saw some stuff. Fedor always keeps his hands low. He gets tagged. I think he got hit with a little up kick. And kind of felt it a little bit. But he's throwing bombs. It was just a matter of game plan. Kind of like I thought it was going to kind of carry out. You go out there. I thought if Chael could get that first couple takedowns, it was going to be his night. But if Fedor stuffed a couple and Chael started thinking, man, what's going on right now? Why isn't this working? And that's what kind of happened and kind of was the beginning to the end.
It's backfired against him sometimes, like the Dan Henderson fight, but more often than not, Fedor seems to thrive in the chaos. And I know you consider yourself a very smart, intelligent fighter. So when you go in there, how do you make sure you don't get caught up in that with him?
Well, I think that was a good reminder right there, with Chael coming in there and getting right in his face and kind of coming into a buzzsaw right away, Fedor, that's his MO. You come in, he's going to throw, 3 punches at least at you, and they come from weird angles, Can you beat him to that punch? And he has his hands down? Yeah. Do you want to play that game all the time, though? Probably not. So you got to be patient. I come out and I fight different opponents totally different ways, and so we'll have to go back and watch tape, game plan, get with my coaches, and figure it out.
Do you think you might see Chael at 205 at some point down the line?
Yeah, probably. He's going to be back. He's a competitor. He's one of the best guys in the world. Look at, he made it, like he was saying, made it to the Final Four, in the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix, and he'll definitely be back for sure.
You like that idea, that fight?
Yeah, I like fighting everybody, and I feel I'm going to be around for a while, so, I'm going to run up and bump up against those guys for sure.
Daniel Cormier tweeted tonight saying there's no doubt in his mind you win against Fedor. What do you think about that?
That's pretty cool. Appreciate the respect from peers is definitely a cool thing to see, especially from a guy like him. I respect him a ton and what he's done in this sport. I still got to go out there and do it though, and I thrive in this kind of stuff and I can't wait.
It's almost like you and DC are actually pretty good friends, despite that whole incident in 2015.
Yeah, it is what it is. We're competitors. We're top guys that want the same thing. I wanted a title fight. He had it at the time, and we were jawing at each other a little bit. But yeah, there's tons of mutual respect there. Coming from the wrestling world, what he's done, and then what he's done in the MMA world, I want to kind of do the same thing he just did. The double champ there. So a lot of respect there.
All right, can we get a couple of quick shots?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
Cheers, Ryan. All right, everybody, thank you. No Ben Henderson. Drive safely. No Vincent.
Yeah.
We're announcing a fight tomorrow in Mohegan Sun.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Bonus fight tomorrow in Mohegan Sun.
Sunday night fight is driving for us.